What's up, my friends? How's it going today? Do you remember this? Stuart, I think it was Stuart Smalley. He was that character from, God, was it Dana Carvey? No, I can't remember. It was from the 90s, and he did he played the Stuart. I think it was Stuart Smalley from, it was, no, yes, no, different character. It was Deep Thoughts with Jack Handy, I think. Nope, different one. It was Stewart. Sorry. It was the one on Saturday Night Live where he said, I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, I'm, you know, whatever enough, and doggone it, people like me. And that just popped into my head when I sat down to make this video because the intention of the video was to inspire people. I just said, I have about 15 minutes before I leave. I'm going to take the kids to the school. They have a movie tonight. It's movie night on Fridays, like every month or two. And so we're going to watch like The Secret Life of Pets 2, and we have to walk up there, so we got to leave in about 15 minutes. And I said, well, what am I going to do with my 15 minutes? I'm going to make a video and try to inspire people to be, I don't know, to take things as they come. And so this is all off the top of my head. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're having a fantastic day. And if you're not, well, I'm sorry, that sucks. Shit happens. Let me let you know that every single day I have a moment. And this sometimes happens in the early afternoon, it seems to come. It's just a moment of lethargy. It's like that moment between coffees or between kratom, doses, or between projects, whatever it might be. There's this in-between that happens on a daily basis. And it's not because of any particular things. It's just this lull, this what now? And those are the moments where we need, I guess, a little bit of reassurance, a little bit of empowerment for ourselves to say, it's okay to feel that way. And we tend to feel guilty for just chilling out, let's say, just hanging out and just relaxing. I mean, I know that this is universal, and a lot of people have this angst and guilt about just doing nothing. And this doesn't include people who are sloth, naturally, lazy. But me, for example, I've considered myself lazy in the past, and then I realized that, well, I'm always doing something. But I'm not always doing something that I need to get done, as far as society wants me to get done. But I'm always on a project, whatever it might be. And I think, so what is valid? What's a worthwhile thing that I should be doing to where I'm not going to feel like I'm wasting my time? Would I be better off at working an 8-hour job minimum wage, doing something miserable that I hate, or trying to work for myself and do my own thing, that kind of stuff? The days between are just like the times between, or in other words, that little lull in the day where you're just feeling a little low. That's like the daily midlife crisis, if you will. And I'm going to tell you something about midlife crisis. I thought that I had gone through mine already, and I think that I did. If such a thing exists, of course. I would say that just at one time in our lives, at least one time, we have a moment where we're like just not where we should be. Mine was caused by my own addictions, my own problems and shortcomings. When I was in my early 30s, my stupid non-realization that I was not being healthy and not taking care of myself as well as I should have, but I thought I was. And universally, it's always like that. I'll look back on today and feel the same way. But each year I'm trying to take better care of myself and be more inspired. And looking back on my 30s, my early 30s, I was anxious. I was stressed out. And I always bring this up when I'm talking about anxiety because I want people to know that if you're going through an anxious stage in your life and you feel the butterflies in your stomach and you panic about everything, and you wake up at 4 in the morning and you start thinking about all the things you have to do and you should do, you're not alone, man. That's universal. A lot of people have this. And you're better off to have a little bit of anxiety, at least, pushing you to succeed. There's a point where you know when it's too much, but there is a little bit to push you to succeed. And on top of that, if you don't have any anxiety because you're taking anxiolytics like benzodiazepines or any type of antidepressants, which basically level out your emotions a lot of the time, you're not going to know those moments when you need to feel a little anxiety. It's like, oh no, I'm being attacked by a tiger. Oh well, our minds are so complicated in the way that all these chemicals work together and these neurons fire and they're intertwined with our memories and our thoughts, and we don't understand how it relates to our body and this mind body connection and muscle memory and memory in general, and imprints and the way that your brain can grow different shape or size in a certain area because you play piano or because even taxi drivers in the UK have been shown to have a difference in their brain that's measurable because they have to study the maps of London for years before they can get their license, and they have to know every single street. It's a well-known case. It's interesting, but at any rate, looking at the big picture, looking around at everybody else, that's what inspires me to say it's okay. Whatever you're doing right now, wherever you're at, if you're a little bit stressed out, you're a little bit depressed, we almost always come out of it. We almost always come out of it. Because I have to realize, whenever I say this, I'm not one of those, motivational speakers saying you can do it and you can pull yourself out and everybody's just fine. I do believe that 99% of the people who are sad or anxious can cure it through either diet or a different thought pattern, because I know about thought loops and I understand how muscle memory can work against us if our brain is the muscle and our memories are in a loop, and these things can actually damage people's psyche heavily, and people become afraid to think, afraid to act, and maybe go through a psychotic episode, which I've seen firsthand, and it passes. So no matter how bad things are right now, what we have to do is ask ourselves, what would it take to make it better? What would it take to make it better for ourselves and those around us? Because nobody wants to feel shitty. All of us just want to feel normal as much as possible, whatever that means. And, there's so much judgment, there's so much stigma attached to mental disorders or people having breakdowns or, and like I said, when I was saying earlier about how I thought I had my midlife crisis at my 30s because of my anxiety, well, I conquered my anxiety. That was when I got into Eastern philosophies, mysticism, Buddhism, Manly P. Hall and Alan Watts. Manly P. Hall helped me immensely because his thoughts, he had some wild, ideas, talked about a lot of things, but mostly it was about taking charge of yourself and knowing that thy man has to take care of himself, man or woman, whatever. That we are responsible for our own emotions. They're a reflection of us. So those things helped me grow. But then when I got into my 40s, I thought, now I'm stable. Now I'll have it figured out. And then slowly I started to realize that, well, I'm still a little bit anxious. Well, that'll pass. And I realized this is just part of life. But then I all of a sudden look back over the last couple of years and think, whoa, I'm hitting my 40s. Is that what, is it going to get better from here overall? Or how much of that is dependent on my own state of mind and how I perceive it? And as time goes on, we'll just find out. So I have definitely, I'm encouraged that my golden years are going to be wonderful with my family. And after I've been through all this bullshit of daily life, it never really ends, but your mind becomes more, I guess, comfortable as you get older, probably because less responsibilities and kids running around screaming and having to work your ass off all the time. So anyway, I better get ready and get going because I gotta go to the school movie. So I'll talk to y'all soon. Be well. Much love to everybody, and leave a comment, subscribe, and all that shit. Peace.